That's a personal choice. You can have an opinion, as you should. Whether you want to express that opinion publicly is again your choice.
Yeah. Why don't we just watch the film and then make up our minds? You know, because a trailer is just like a taste of what you might witness, but it's not the entire picture. So.
Hello, I'm Abhishek Bachchan and you are watching PeepingMoon.com.
Hi, this is Nimrat Kaur. Please watch Dasvi from the 7th of April onwards on Jio Cinema and Netflix. And you're watching me on Peeping Moon.
Well, we don't need more than 10 bahane to watch Abhishek Bachchan for Dasvi because Nimrat and Abhishek are going to make sure we mark the dates. 7th it is, though it's Dasvi. So welcome Abhishek Bachchan and Nimrat Kaur for Dasvi.
Thank you very much.
Starting with the first question, I happened to speak to your director Tushar outside and he's like, thank you for asking and clarifying. No, the characters are not based on anyone. There are no real life instances I have like taken or modeled them on.
Sure.
It was an inspiration just in sake. How do you feel about it? Because it's like people are actually coming up to me and saying ki this is Rabdi Devi and this is Chautala Saab. How do you react to that? It can be just as cinematic as it gets.
No, it's just a fictitious story. It's a wonderful story. It's and very nicely told by Tushar, if we may say so. And we're very excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just second what Tushar and Abhishek have said. It's an original story. It's an imaginary world. We've all inhabited it, and it's a lot of fun.
Abhishek, the film somewhere underlining message. It's about the education, the right to education, and there is no age to like start learning. How you feel about this particular idea in general? There is no age when you can learn anything, be just a subject.
Absolutely, there is no age for anything, and especially to educate yourself. There's absolutely no age. I completely agree with this.
But Nimrat, if I have to like flip side and ask you, if today on today's time, if you have to start learning something afresh, what it would be for you?
Depends on what's being told to me to learn. If you ask me to study again, I don't think I have the guts to do it. I have a lot of respect for people who take, go back to the textbook and they want to take examinations. I don't think I have it in me. Skills, yes. Horse riding, I mean, maybe a new language. I would like to do that. Learn a new instrument, something. Yeah, sure.
What
I'd
about
love
you?
To do that.
Would you?
I'd love to be able to learn an instrument, yeah. Either sing or learn an instrument.
You have already been singing enough
Badly.
songs?
Yeah.
No.
And auto-tune really helps.
How can you say that? Abhishek, when Tare Zameen Pe came, you spoke like there was a section about you, about dealing with dyslexia on the film. And then we have a film underlining. I'm not saying it's totally on education, but how you feel about it to be associated with a certain kind of subject which also sheds light on the importance of how to be schooled in general. Just your take on it, nothing like...
It's nice. It's a nice story. It was more that. The idea wasn't to do something in that sense, about a message. It was a very entertaining film, a story which I was very keen to see on screen. So, I mean, that's the only reason.
And I love the fact that when there is a scene when Nimrat says कि अब मैं CM हूँ तो अब मैं ये गाय भैंस नहीं चराऊंगी. How you evaluate the power dynamics here? Because there's this lovely thing. He's in jail. You're putting ghee on his dal time and again. It's like तुम वहीं रहो. I'll manage the gaddi. Yeah. How you talk about this power dynamics? Because all three characters are equally powerful. Yeah. It's just the shift you see. Yeah. He's this powerful guy who enters and he's ready to. Maybe now नहीं जेल का काम करना तो पढ़ाई कर लेते हैं and you now are the CM.
Yeah, these are two different kinds of journeys, where one person is reforming and one person's just, going in the opposite direction, and she's just enjoying, the trip she's on, which is this power that's been unleashed upon her, and now she doesn't know what to do with it. And she's trying to have as much fun with it as possible. There's nothing menacing about it or ill about it. There is just somebody who's never had a chance to, play the way she would have liked to, perhaps. So for me, that's what she's doing.
As Abhishek says, "Uncha bolo." Thoda uncha boliye. Well, Abhishek, it's been a treat for fans. For last 2 years, you have kept your promise. We see you every now and then. As I've been saying it, there was a year of AB, and now it's going on. And Nimrat chooses to take her good sweet time and come out and with the performances. While thank you for this, why are you taking so much time?
No, I do work abroad. I have a lot of work happening there as well. So that keeps me away for a bit. I do want to change this, and I hope that, with Dasvi, the tide changes and I'm able to do much more work here.
For me, Abhishek, in Dasvi, what actually attracted me, for Big Bull, you have this slight accent of getting the Gujarati part. And I won't say this is like, this came so naturally to you when you were speaking Haryanvi. I'm like, this is so modeled on you. It doesn't look like that you would have had a coach and got trained and that swag. How did you actually model your part on? Anything specific?
Well, I have to give the entire credit to Tushar, whose vision for Gangaram Chaudhary was so clear. It made it very easy for me to do what he needed me to do. As far as the accent and all, we had a dialect coach who trained us. But the rest of it, I think, I leaned completely on Tushar, because he was just so clear of how he wanted to see and hear Gangaram Chaudhary. So it made it very easy for me.
And you are actually helping us with 3 different looks, like in a short span. Like we have this. I have to give you credit for that. I'm like, yes, this is, what was it like? First you have Bob in between and then you get to see this. So yeah, it's fun. I don't know if it's the right question to ask, so please help correct me here. When we talk about literacy and education in India, the literacy growth rate per se in our nation is actually not in that good numbers. We are still on work in progress kind of thing. Do you think Dasvi is perceived by many as like a film which is just speaking about the right to get schooled or education, or are we not taking the correct messaging around it? Like when I saw the film, my first thing was, are we talking about just education here? So I will ask them only. I asked even Tushar for that matter. Are we correlating these 2 points? And he's like, ask Abhishek, he'll tell you. They are 2 different tangents we are discussing.
No, we just try to make a good, clean-hearted, entertaining family film. And if you take away a message from it, brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. And I think, why don't we just watch the film and then make up our minds? Because a trailer is just like a taste of what you might witness, but it's not the entire picture. So.
And I happened to see the pictures, the screening you guys did at Agra. You kept up your promise. Like after 1 year, you'll be going to the Agra jail and watching it with the inmates. And I saw the pictures on the Shar's phone. That's some huge crowd. I mean, 3 big screens and everyone watching.
It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I'm just so happy that we could fulfill our promise.
Because it's easier
and it made
said
them
than
so
done.
happy, and their reactions were fantastic. So I'm just happy that we could do it. Yeah.
But as Tushar was explaining that how easy it looks that inmates could watch the film, but how we made it happen, only we know. It's a completely different world.
Well, obviously, there are a lot of permissions involved, and it wouldn't have happened without the jail authorities cooperating with us. And we thank them for being so gracious. And yes, it was a logistic nightmare, but I'm so glad that Mad Dog Films managed to pull it off.
As I've been saying, like Mad Dog Films has mastered this art of, you have Hindi medium, Angrezi medium, now you have Dasvi. I think they are creating this bunch of films which sooner or later are going to give us a dose of education somewhere. But last but not the least, Abhishek and Nimrat, one thing which I genuinely loved while watching Dasvi, this your entry of yours on that Sinhasan is like some cool swag is going on. I'm like, if I got to be a politician, I got to do, I will pull it. And you are just so nonchalant about the fact that the way you flipped, the looks, I have to talk about it. They are done to tea, and thankfully no politicizing, as we were discussing that pagdi ka ye color hona chahiye ya hame koi ek certain wo karna hai. There's something so cool about it. Would you like to shed light, because it's very rare, it doesn't look gimmicky. You look your path.
Well, that was the intention. We didn't want to do anything gimmicky. We wanted to be as authentic as possible, because maybe when you tend to do something gimmicky, it doesn't seem real.
And I think it comes across sooner or
Yeah,
later.
so the idea was to be as genuine, because the focus had to be on the story. We didn't want anybody to take away focus on that.
Exactly. I mean, the script was so much fun to read. The first time I read the script, I really loved it. And I said that, oh, I better do justice to this part, because at least I just wanted to dive into it with everything that I could, because I enjoyed reading it so much. It was such an encouraging story to read, that it was at all points in time, I was always looking for those moments that, okay, how can I at this point in time make the most of this, this scene at this point in the story. Not very often do you come across that. Yeah.
Abhishek, is it necessary that just because you two playing are politicians and you are a vocal person when it comes to social media in general, you are pretty much okay if whenever you want to put out your view, that you need to have a political view on everything, even as an actor, it's actually not your take to put out a political view.
It's a personal choice. You can have an opinion, as you should. Whether you want to express that opinion publicly is again your choice.
Yeah.
This nothing to do with, yeah, because this entire debate, like, okay, actors and their political viewpoint and how they choose to be apolitical in today's time. So I thought I should ask.
It's a personal decision. It's a personal decision. Yeah.
Thank you.